Hi, this is Jennifer Wilson from SimpleScrapper.com. In this episode of the ABCs of Simple Scrapbooking, we're going to talk about up and down. When I'm talking about ebb and flow in scrapbooking, I'm talking about your natural cycles of more interest and less interest and excitement and enthusiasm about scrapbooking. And this directly affects how many pages you're getting done and how many projects you're starting and finishing. I hear every single day that time is your #1 challenge in scrapbooking, that you just don't have enough of it. And here today I'd like to argue that part of that issue is not understanding your natural ebb and flow. And so in this episode we're going to discuss about how to understand that and how to use that new knowledge to benefit your productivity in scrapbooking. In past episodes, we've talked about various ways to reduce the time wasters in your life. From quitting bad habits to filtering out distractions. We've discussed different options for eliminating that excess. Well, today I'm going to talk about one of the causes of those distractions and unproductive activity. And I think one of those causes is not understanding where you're at in your ebb and flow cycle. So here's what I really mean. I think that we waste time, we procrastinate, we do things that we probably shouldn't be doing but find ourselves doing anyway because we're not acknowledging where we're at in our cycle. We're maybe trying to force activity when it's not the right time. Do you remember sitting down and having to write a paper and then just feeling totally stuck and blocked? And do you remember other times where you just couldn't wait to sit down and get started writing down a memory that you had of a particular day or something that excited you? Those are two opposite examples of when your energy level is directly affecting what you're doing. I tweeted recently that I had a must create now moment where I just couldn't stop myself from creating a scrapbook page. And so part of understanding my own ebb and flow is allowing myself to do that. That when that urge strikes, I should take advantage of it and just drop everything and scrapbook. And in the end, it wasn't a major inconvenience in my life. It took about 30 minutes, but I was able to create a page when that energy struck me. So I know you're probably thinking, well, I just can't do that. I can't just drop everything. And I totally understand that. And well, my point is a little bit larger than that. My point is that if you understand when your peaks are and when your valleys are, you'll be better able to align the activities that you need and want to do to those peaks and valleys. And since most of my audience here is women, I'm sure you're probably wondering, does this ebb and flow cycle mirror your body's own natural cycle? And for many of you, it may. Many of you may have daily ebbs and flows of your energy, and you may need to tailor things that way. Others of you may see a more monthly cycle. I know I experience 2 weeks of very high energy and activity, and then another 2 weeks of quieter times where I feel there's less light in the world, and I need to work harder to overcome that. This need not be an intensive process of trying to understand your own ebb and flow. It's a seed you plant in the back of your mind to be more conscious and more aware of it, to recognize when your energy levels are higher and when they're lower, when you have trouble getting started and when getting started and finishing is really easy. And once this idea comes into your mind, you're better able to process it and make that information useful to you. It didn't just happen overnight for me. I thought about it for a long time, and I've been working on this over time and understanding how all the different factors in my life impact my energy level for work, for play, for creativity. And yes, it does change over time, and yes, it changes with what I eat, how much exercise I'm getting. There's certainly a lot of external factors, but just kind of understanding your body's own signals for those periods is vastly helpful for scheduling and planning my own creative work. So I want to make this last segment about getting really practical with you and sharing some specific steps that you can take to apply this to your scrapbooking. I like to think about this most simply as a right brain, left brain problem. If you consider that the left brain is more analytical, more logical, and the right brain is more creative and intuitive, I think the ebb and flow cycles for creativity can closely mirror that. When you're in an ebb cycle, when you're in a downturn, for creativity, that means your creativity is maybe a little lower, and maybe your left brain is being a little more dominant. Now, this is the perfect time to take advantage of activities like photo editing and supply organization and other types of kind of very straightforward, logical activities that help you progress in your memory keeping, but maybe don't require those right brain synapses to fire as much to give you new ideas. There's something you need to do and you can do it. And maybe it's a time to take advantage of kind of a more slowness. And then on the opposite end, we have our flow time. And for creativity, when we're in our flow time, that means our right brain is really active and really excited, and we have all these new ideas, and we can take advantage of that and harness them. And that's when you make pages, and that's when you go shopping for new supplies, and that's when you complete projects, is when that creativity side takes over and you have all the energy. That's the worst time to be organizing, because then you're not scrapbooking when it's most productive for you. So if this idea of ebb and flow resonated with you, I'd love if you left me a comment letting me know two specific things. One, how you've been able to acknowledge and better understand your own ebb and flow cycle. And two, how you've adapted that to your own scrapbooking. Thanks.
The ABCs of Simple Scrapbooking is brought to you by Simple Scrapper, where you can find solutions for stress-free memory keeping. Visit us at simplescrapper.com and sign up for email updates where you can get a free gift.